The Toronto Maple Leafs have signed the top free agent defenseman outside of the NHL. Who is Mikko Lehtonen and how will he impact the Leafs blue line? We'll discuss that coming up next. So welcome back to another video here at Top Shelf Hockey. Now, as I mentioned, the Toronto Maple Leafs made an announcement this morning that they've signed free agent defenseman Mikko Lehtonen from Finland, who played this past season in the KHL and was regarded by many as the top defenseman in that league for the past season, and certainly once he became a free agent, the top defensive blue liner, free agent outside of the NHL. So this is certainly a great signing, or at least it appears to have a lot of potential here for the Maple Leafs. Now, when news first broke that Lehtonen was leaving the KHL and had intentions to seek an NHL contract, the Maple Leafs were not a team that were mentioned amongst the teams that were linked to him. Originally, the first team mentioned was the New Jersey Devils, and then we later heard that the Montreal Canadiens and Los Angeles Kings were in the mix, and there was some rumblings that some other teams were interested, which really was not a surprise. He had a fantastic year in the KHL and was really, as I looked upon as being a pretty solid free agent acquisition, but Kyle Dubas and the Maple Leafs have swooped in here and signed the defenseman to a contract. Now, because of his age and being 26 years old, he's only eligible for a one-year entry-level deal. So this provides the Maple Leafs with a nice cheap option on the blue line, but it could be a very solid option and certainly could very well outperform his contract if he meets expectations from what we're hearing and what he could be capable of. Who exactly is Mikko Lehtonen? He's 26 years old. He's a Finnish left shot defenseman. He's 6 feet tall, just a little bit under 200 pounds. So he's not an overly big defender, but Lehtonen's known to be very offensive-minded, great at joining to the rush, can certainly be very helpful on the power play as well. He put up 49 points in 60 games in the KHL last year, and he was a rookie in that league. That was his first year playing in the KHL. Prior to that, Lehtonen had mostly played in his home country of Finland in Liga for TPS Turku. He did play a little bit in Sweden as well before making the jump to the KHL with the Finnish team Jokerit last season. So had a solid year and then asked to be released from his contract to pursue NHL opportunities. Now, dating back as well, he's also represented his home country of Finland numerous times internationally. He was part of the 2014 World Junior Championship team. He was also part of the 2018 Olympic team, and he was also part of the 2019 World Championship gold medal winning team from Finland. So he's got a lot of international experience. He's used to playing, against a lot of big time players from around the world. Now in the Olympics, he didn't get to see much action. He only played in one game there, but the other tournaments he played a more regular role the entire duration of the tournament. And in the World Championship tournament, actually had some pretty solid results, was one of their top defenders for the Finns in that tournament. So Lehtonen certainly provides another great potential here for the Leafs. Like I said, a really low-risk signing. It's only a one-year deal. It's not a lot of money based on our entry-level contract rules. Now, the only downside is he will become an unrestricted free agent after the season is up. If he puts up anywhere close to the number of points that he did in the KHL, which is not going to be an easy task because it is a different league, then he certainly will be commanding more money on the next contract and could prove difficult for the Leafs to retain. We'll have the season to kind of figure that out and see if it's worth making other moves to make sure they can retain him longer term. Now, of course, as much as this is a great potential signing and certainly an intriguing player to add to their roster, you can't help but wonder where he's a left shot, what this means for the remainder of the decor. Now let's take a quick look here from capfriendly.com to take a look at their full list of blue liners right now. Of course, Morgan Rielly and Jake Muzzin are the top two left shot defenders. That's not going to be changing here. Of course, they do have promising youngster Rasmus Sandin, also is a left shot defenseman. Of course, they also have a couple other players like Travis Dermott and now Lehtonen into the mix here, who are left shot defensemen as well. So normally you have three in your lineup, and that provides five. Now, of course, Dermott is also a restricted free agent. He needs a new deal. I'm not quite sure how that's going to go. And not to mention as well, they also have a few other lefties like Calle Rosen and Marty Marinson in the system as well as extra depth pieces. So hard to say, some of these guys might have to learn to play their offside on the right side because the right side is certainly weak. Many expect that Tyson Barrie and Cody Ceci likely don't return for next year, and that really only leaves Justin Hall from the remaining group as somebody who actually played a pretty regular time in the 1920 season. And actually, Hall, I think, had a pretty much what we can call a bit of a breakthrough season. Hall certainly proved that he could be a more regular defenseman after spending much of the previous season as a healthy scratch. So clearly, they still need some help on the right side. Even if one of these other defenders can be converted to the right side and play their offside, fairly effectively, they still could use use that right shot, shutdown type of defensive-minded defenseman, in my opinion, but we'll see. I know at some point when Jake Muzzin first arrived, they did experiment, I think, a little bit with him on the right side, and that didn't really work out overly well. He certainly seems to be more comfortable playing the left side, but obviously, we'll see what these guys can do. But Lehtonen is a very intriguing signing, and even though they had several other left shot defensemen already under contract, it's probably fair to say that Kyle Dubas felt that Lehtonen was as good or better than majority of them. I think, like I said, the only one I don't see going anywhere would be Rasmus Sandin. Of course, Muzzin and Riley are certainly safe as well, but I wouldn't maybe rule out the possibility, depending on how things go with Lehtonen, maybe that'll mean Dermott will either have to convert to the right side or possibly get moved. They did extend Marty Marincin earlier as well, so he's got some more time on his contract, but they could certainly put him through waivers if need be, put him in the minors if nobody claims him. So interesting times, it's for sure for the Maple Leafs. Kyle Dubas has been known here to go out and get some European free agents, and here's another case of doing some good scouting here, because Lehtonen appears to be the real deal, who could certainly be a pretty solid NHL rear guard. At least it looks that way so far. So it'll be very interesting to see how things go for Lehtonen once he gets into uniform and gets in the lineup here for the Maple Leafs. So let me know what your thoughts are on this defenseman. Where do you see him playing in the lineup? Do you see him playing top pair, second pair, third pair? Where do you think he fits best on their depth chart? And what does this mean for their other left shot defensemen? Do you see any of them converting to be playing the other side, or do you see one or two of them maybe being moved out of town if Lehtonen really works out for them? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments, and we'll continue the conversation. If you're new to the channel, subscribe for more daily content, and give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it as well. I'd appreciate it if you did. As always, thank you for watching, and I will catch you next time.